Megan Parks with Exploring Parks here. Today I want to talk about the best canned foods and non-perishable food items you can bring with you while you're camping. In my last video, we talked about all the different ways you can cook while camping. There's several different methods, so once you decide on your method of cooking, then you can start planning out your meals. When you're camping, it's always best to strategize and decide the best way to pack. So if you're packing food, typically you have to stuff a cooler full of all different kinds of foods that you're normally eating at home. But if you really put some time into thinking, you can decide on different canned foods and non-perishable food items that you'll be able to mix together to make delicious meals while you're out camping. This will eliminate the need for a large cooler, which will save you space. Also, it will prevent you from having to worry about keeping your food cool and having enough ice for days on end. If you're backpacking, typically you have to think about what foods can I bring with me that do not need refrigeration. And along with that, you have to think about what foods can I bring with me that don't need refrigeration and also don't weigh a lot because I have to carry it around with me. So in that instance, typically you want to bring freeze-dried foods or prepackaged things like ramen noodles with you that don't weigh a lot and that can be prepared with just some water and anything very simple. Along those lines, you could always bring those foods with you camping. They don't require refrigeration or a cooler, which is great, but there's also some other options for you. So there's like powdered mashed potatoes. We have like instant rice packets, makes it really easy to make a stir fry or a side dish while we're camping. You might also bring a box for like a hamburger helper that has the noodles and the seasoning in it, and then just grab yourself a can of meat. So those are different options to think about when you're camping and trying to use non-perishable food items. One of the biggest options for not refrigerating food is to bring canned food with you. Canned food is a great option because it's already packaged up, cooked for you. All you have to do is open it and heat it up, and then you'll enjoy your meal. I recently wrote a blog post about all the non-perishable food items and best canned food items that you can bring with you while camping, and I also give you ideas of different combinations so you can make easy meals while you're at your campsite. So you can check that out on exploringparks.com, and you can get the printable list to help you start planning for your next trip. The varieties of canned food items that I talk about in that post are vegetables. So for example, green beans makes a great side. You could also add it to a stir fry or a soup. Fruits would be like canned peaches, canned pineapples. Those make for a great snack. Or you can also make a delicious dessert if you have a Dutch oven with you, or even on your stovetop you can make some hot peaches with like a cobbler topping. Anything like that with the fruit is a great idea. Beans is another canned food option that's very hearty, has a lot of good nutritional value. You can add that with some meat and some sauce and have a chili, or you can add it to soup. There's just a lot of options there if you bring beans with you on your camping trip. Canned meats are really important to bring with you too on your camping trip. They have a lot of protein in them. They're pre-cooked, they're easy to make and mix in with different meals. So for example, if you look at your grocery store, you might be surprised at all the different options you have in the canned meat section. Usually we think about canned chicken or canned tuna, but we've actually found things like canned roast beef. There's Spam, corned beef, ground beef. You could do all the different seafood cans like salmon, oysters. There's just a lot of options there when it comes to meat that you might not think about. Other choices for canned food are liquids. So this is chicken broth in a can. So you could just heat this up with a can of chicken and a can of green beans and have yourself a soup, something really easy. Or you can look for things like evaporated milk, sweetened condensed milk, coconut milk. This would be great to put in your coffee, or also you could make cereal with it. It's just a good option so you don't have to bring fresh dairy with you. Aside from the canned food items, there's a lot of other jarred items that you could bring with you. So for example, a pasta sauce would be great to bring on your trip. Then you could just boil noodles and add your pasta sauce in there and have yourself a good pasta dish. And if you want to make it extra hearty, you could pop open a can of roast beef and add that into your dish. One of the important parts of cooking with non-perishable food items is to make sure you bring seasonings with you, so that will make or break your camping meal. Having a few basics like salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, chili powder would really just help elevate any of your meals. Also, along with seasonings, it's a good idea to bring some sauces with you. So you could bring hot sauce, soy sauce, you might bring something like honey with you just to add a little bit extra flavor to those meals that you're making. So for your next camping trip, make sure to plan out the different non-perishable food items you can bring with you. Aside from the different cans and jars, you could also think about things like bread, crackers, fruits like apples, oranges, anything that does not have to be put in the refrigerator. Those will be good options to help make a complete meal while you're camping on your next trip. I hope this video was helpful and it has you thinking about what you will make on your next camping trip. If you're looking for other tips and tricks for camping, overlanding, outdoors, or anything in between, please subscribe to this channel. Thank you, and I hope you keep exploring.